Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello my dear students, welcome to Commerce online classes. So as we know that second PUC all syllabus of economics we completed, let's start the revision classes. So I will first solve all the project oriented questions. So nearly 12 project oriented questions here, 6 are very important. That 6 I will solve first, later we will go through the question paper solutions. So let's start from the first project oriented question. Find the missing product from the following table. So here is the one table. First, factors they will give as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should find the missing products. Total product, average product, marginal products are given. You should find the missing products. Total product is given as TP, marginal product is given as MP, average product is given as AP. So we have to find the missing product here. First I will write the question. Total product 0, 10, 24, 40, dash given, dash means we should find the missing product here, 57. Marginal product is given as 0, dash for find the missing marginal product, 16, 10, 6, 1. Average product is given as AP, 0, 10, 12, 13.33, dash 9.5. 9.5. So to find the missing product, we should use the formulas to find total product, marginal product, average product. Remember once, formula to find total product is TP is equal to total product we are going to find by adding the marginal product, the summation of MP. TP is equal to summation of MP. This is the formula to calculate total product. Total product means adding all the marginal product, we are going to get the total product, summation of MP, adding the marginal product. 0, 0 keep as it is, 10 plus 0 is 10, TPN minus n minus 1. So 10 plus 24, that is 40, like that we are going to adding the summation of MP. See here 0, 10, 24 minus 10, that is 10. So here first we should find the total product. Total product means adding all the product, 10 plus 24, 34, 40, again here 40 plus 10, that is 50, 50 plus 6, that is 56. This is the total product column. Total product means adding the marginal product to the total product. 40 plus 10, 50. 50 plus 6 is 56. 56 plus 1 is 57. Like we are going to get the total product. Next we are going to find the marginal product. Marginal product means MP is equal to TPN minus TPN minus 1. This formula you should know before going to find the missing product. Marginal product MP is equal to MPN or MP1 you can give. TPN minus TPN minus 1. As I already said, TPN is the current unit and TPN minus 1 means previous unit. So total product of current unit and total product from the previous unit. Thus, see here, now TPN minus TPN minus 1. This is a TPN minus 1. 24 is the TP. You should see the TP column, total product column. Thus, here you should keep 10 minus 0 as it is, 10 again, 24 minus 10. This is the total product TP. TPN is 24, TPN minus 1 is 10. That is 10. Thus 14. Thus 10 and 14 are the missing product of MP. 10 and 14. So TPN minus TPN minus 1 is to calculate the marginal product. Next we are going to find the average product. Average product is denoted by AP. AP is equal to TP by L. TP by Q or L. L means factors. Factor is represented as L in units, labor units. Thus, AP means average product is equal to total product divided by labor, that is L. So, now you are going to see the AP column. Here 50 is the total product by 4, 50 by 4, 50 by 4. 50 by AP is equal to 50 by 4, that is 12.5. 12.5. So now you can see the missing products in the table. So after finding the missing product, you should keep it in a bracket, then you can easily understand. Yes. So this is about the project oriented question 1. Find the missing product from the following table. So the same table is given in the examination. So you should write all the formulas. First one, TP is equal to summation of MP. To find the MP, TPN minus TPN minus 1. To find the AP, TP by L, and to find missing product, you should, wherever the dash is given, there you should make just a box like this, then you can easily remember, then it is easy for score. So it is important for 5 marks. Next question, we are going to find a second main project oriented question, that is compute the total revenue, marginal revenue and average revenue. Compute total revenue, marginal revenue and average revenue. Second project oriented question, compute total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. So suppose the market price is given, as rupees 10. Market price is rupees 10. So first column is quantity, First column is quantity sold. Second column is TR. Third is MR. Fourth one is AR. So here TR means total revenue, MR means marginal revenue, AR means average revenue. Quantity sold 0 to 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 respectively. Five to 6 respectively. So just price is given as rupees 10, like this table is given you for the exam. So just you should calculate or compute TR, AR, MR schedule when the market price is rupees 10. Question is like this. Now what you have to do means you have to add one more column. So that is P. P means price. You should add the price column here. So should add the price column, students. See here. Here I will make a two columns here. TR is kept as it is. Here you should add the price as P. What is the price given? Price P is given as rupees 10. 10 each they said, means each quantity is sold at rupees 10. 10 each means each quantity is sold at rupees 10. Thus 10 kept as it is, 10, 10, 10, 10. So we are going to substitute the price values to each quantities. Now to find the total revenue, TR. TR is equal to, there is one formula to find TR, that is total revenue is equal to P into Q, price into quantity. So let us see, the price is rupees 10 and quantity is 0. 10 into 0. Next one is 10 into 1. Next is 10 into 2, 10 into 3, 10 into 4, 10 into 5, 10 into 6. So total revenue is computed with the help of the formula TR is equal to P into Q. Total revenue is equal to price into quantity. Price into quantity. Next is to find MR, marginal revenue. How to find marginal revenue means MR is equal to TRN minus TRN minus 1. TRN minus 1. So MR we are going to find with the help of TRN minus 1, 0, 10 minus 0, 20 minus 10 that is 10, 30 minus 20 that is 10, 40 minus 30, 10, 50 minus 40 is 10, 60 minus 50 that is 10. Thus marginal revenue is 10 each. Next is finding the average revenue. AR is equal to TR, total revenue, divided by Q. Q means quantity. Total revenue divided by quantity. Total revenue column to the quantity. 0, 10 by 1. Next is 20 by 2, 10, 30 by 3, 10, next 40 by 4, 10, 50 by 5 that is 10, 60 by 6 that is 10 each. Thus you can see the price is 10 each, then marginal revenue and average revenue is also 10 each. So here you should use this three formulas to find the values, and you should write. Suppose the price is rupees 10. Suppose the price is rupees 10. MR and AR is also 10 each. Is also 10 each. So here if the price is 10, they said just they were giving the market price is rupees 10, find TR, AR, MR. You should find the TR, AR, MR when the market price is rupees 10. So price we are going to make a one more column. After the quantity sold, we are adding the price column. Then to find the TR we are using the formula P into Q. TR is equal to P into Q means price into quantity sold. Q means quantity sold. So TR is equal to P into Q. So after that we are going to get the TR values when we are going to multiply the price value in the quantity. Next is marginal revenue, that is TRN minus TRN minus 1. Price is P into Q. Next is AR is TR by Q. TR by Q. So total revenue divided by the quantity. So by this you are going to complete the second project oriented question, that is calculate total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. It is also important for 5 marks. Project oriented question contains 5 marks. So if you are doing this, adding the price column and calculating TR, AR, MR with the formula, you are going to get full complete 5 marks. So next one more project oriented question we are going to solve. That is from the second chapter, theory of the consumer behavior. As you know that it is very important question. A consumer wants to consume 2 goods. Price of banana is rupees 4. Price of banana is rupees 4 and price of mango is rupees 5. Price of mango is rupees 5 respectively. Consumer income is rupees 20. Consumer money income is rupees 20. Rupees 20. So now there are 5 questions. How much bananas can she consume if she spent entire income? Question A. How much banana can she consume if she spent her entire income? Entire income. Full entire income is rupees 20. If she spent all 20 rupees, then how much bananas can she consume? The second question is, how much mangoes can she consume? How much mangoes can she consume if she spent entire income on particular goods? Is the slope of budget line is downward or upward? Is the slope of budget line is first I will solve these two. To solve this, how much bananas can she consume if she spends entire income, that is rupees 20. So let us see the project oriented question, that is third one. A consumer want to consume two goods. Question is, a consumer wants to consume two goods, that is mango and banana. The price of banana is rupees 5, rupees 4, and the price of mango is rupees 5. Price of mango is rupees 5. Consumer money income is rupees 20. So question A, how much banana can she consume if she spent entire income on mango? So how much mango can she consume? How much banana can she consume? Thus, see here how to calculate this means, as you know that consumer income is very important while consuming the goods and services. Just the answer you are going to write. So as you know that P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to M. P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to M, means price of the goods X and price of the goods X1 and X2 is equal to M. M means consumer money income. So it is the equation, as you know that. Thus, if the price of banana is rupees 4, how much banana can she consume if she spent 20 rupees on particular bananas? So that is you are going to see by 20 by 4, that is 5. 20 by 5. 20 is the money income and 4 mangoes is equal to 5. Thus, if she spent entire money income on bananas, she can consume 5 bananas. 5 bananas she can consume if she spent her entire income on bananas. Next is, how much mangoes can she consume if she spent entire income on the particular good? So mango is, consumer income remains constant, that is 20. Thus 5 ones are 5 fours are, thus 4 mangoes she can consume if she spent her entire income. Thus 5 bananas, 4 mangoes. Then next question, is the slope of budget line is downward or upward? Now you are going to show the budget line through the small diagram. Budget line always slopes downward from left to right. What are the reasons? You know that it is because of substitution effect, income effect, and other law of diminishing marginal utility effect. Thus, the slope of budget line is downward. The slope of budget line is downward. So because this is budget line, P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to M. Whatever the goods X and goods Y you are going to consume, goods X1, goods X2, that depends upon the money income of a consumer. X1 and X2 are the goods. The third question, what is the slope of budget line? The slope of budget line is downward, either upward or downward. They are asking the questions, you should write the slope of the budget line is downward, because always the budget line slopes downward from left to the Right, it is because of consumer income effect, substitution effect and law of diminishing marginal utility. Next question is, are the bundles on the budget line equal to the consumer income or not? So now you are going to see whether the consumer money income is equal to the consumer satisfaction. Yes, it is equal to the consumer income. Yes or no, they asked. You should write yes, the bundles on the budget line equal to the consumer income. Question 4, you should write yes, the bundles on the budget line are equal to the consumer money income because P1 x1 plus P2 x2 is equal to M. Money income is 40. So she can consume 5 bananas, 4 mangoes with the help of the given money income, that is rupees 20. Next question, if you want to have more bananas, you have to give up mangoes. It is true or is it true, they asked. So you should write yes, because when you are going to spend entire income on the bananas, you should sacrifice or give up mangoes. If you are going to sacrifice bananas, you should take mangoes, means here you are going to invest all your money on the mangoes. Thus, yes, you should write yes, it is true. It is true that if you want to buy one thing, you should sacrifice other thing. Thus, if you want to have more bananas, you have to give up mangoes. Yes, is it true, they asked. Yes, it is true that if you want to have more bananas, we have to give up mangoes. So these are the 3 main project oriented questions from the first 6 chapters, microeconomics first 6 chapters. So the same questions are repeating always. So very important questions. One is this one, 5 marks, very important for 5 marks. All the project oriented questions contains 5 marks. Easily you can score the 5 marks while you are going to write like this. Should write the detailed manner, you should draw the graph and you should show the budget line is always downward sloping. So this is about the 3 main project oriented question. So next class we are going to solve the remaining 3 main project oriented question. So whatever the revision we are doing in the previous class is about project oriented questions of microeconomics. Let us start from the question paper revision from the beginning. The first main in the part A of second PUC question paper is fill in the blanks for the following. So see the first question, in reality all economies are dash. So as I said, in reality all economies are mixed economies. In reality all economies are mixed economies. You should write mixed economies, not economics, mixed economies. Second one is method of adding 2 individual demand curve is dash. Add up of 2 individual demand curves, as I said, DD1 plus DD2 is equal to market demand, as I said, SS1 plus SS2 is equal to SM, as we studied supply curve, SS1 plus SS2 is equal to SM, DD1 plus DD2 is equal to DM, market demand. So method of adding this D1 plus D2 is equal to DM. Method of adding these 2 individual demand curves are said to be the horizontal summation. See, we are adding horizontally 1 plus 2, DD1 plus DD2 is equal to DM, means market demand. Thus, method of adding 2 individual demand curve is said to be the horizontal summation. Horizontal summation. Horizontal summation. Next is dash is defined as the output per unit of variable input. Dash is defined as output per unit of variable input. Per unit comes, students, if the per unit is there, means you should write average product. Change in the unit means you should write the marginal product. So AP, average product. Average product is defined as the output per unit of variable input. Next one is dash is a tax that government imposes per unit sale of output. So per unit sale of output, government is going to impose unit tax. Unit tax. Tax per unit is said to be the unit tax. For per 1 unit they are going to impose the 2 rupees tax, means that is a unit tax. Thus unit tax is a tax that government imposes per unit sale of output. Unit tax, answer is unit tax. Next is in labor market dash are suppliers of labor. In labor market there are I said there are 2 sectors, household sector and business sector. So who is going to supply the labor means household sectors. Answer is household sectors or households, you can write means enough. Households are suppliers of labor. In labor market, households or household sectors are suppliers of labor. So this is about the fill in the blanks. So this is according to the question paper of midterm examination 2018. Very important questions. In reality all economies are dash, mixed economies. Method of adding to individual demand curve is dash, horizontal summation. Dash is defined as the output per unit of variable input, average product, and unit tax is a tax that government imposes per unit sale of output. Dash tax means unit tax. In labor market dash are suppliers of labors. In labor market households are suppliers of labors. Next is about choose the correct answers. So just I will read out the questions, you came to know the answers. Traditionally the subject matter of economics has been studied under the following broad branches is there. So as we know that is the option A, micro and macro economics. Traditionally second main is always choose the correct answer. Traditionally subject matter of economics is studied under the micro and macro economics. Micro and macro economics. They are the broad branches. Micro and macro economics. Second question is shape of indifference curve is normally convex to the origin. It is not at all concave, vertical or horizontal. Shape of indifference curve is always convex to the origin. Convex to the origin. Third question is a vertical demand curve is always perfectly inelastic. Vertical demand curve is never elastic. Vertical demand curve means like this. Demand curve never vertical. Vertical demand curve is always perfectly inelastic. Inelastic. Perfectly inelastic. Next one is the revenue per unit of output of a firm is called average revenue. Revenue per unit of output is said to be the average revenue. AR they given, AR means average revenue. Next is in perfect competition buyers and sellers are said to be the either price makers, price takers or price analysts or none of the above options is there. In perfectly competitive market buyers and sellers are price takers. In the perfect competition buyers and sellers are price takers. Both buyers and sellers are not at all price makers. Under the monopoly they are price makers. Perfectly competitive market they are the price takers, because the industry is going to fix the price and all the firms are going to follow the price, thus they are the price takers. Next is match the following. Third one is Match the following. Three, 4, 5. First is demand curve. Second one is unitary elastic demand. Unitary elastic demand. Third one SMC, short run marginal cost. Fourth one normal profit. Normal profit. Fifth one Adam Smith. Adam Smith. So this side demand curve, downward sloping. Directly answer I will write demand curve, downward sloping. Downward sloping. Unitary elastic demand, elasticity of demand is equal to 1, and under the unitary elastic demand, elasticity of demand is equal to 1. SMC, short run marginal cost. So under the short run marginal cost, you are going to find by TC by Q. TC by Q, change in the total cost divided by change in the output. Next is normal profit is zero profit. Zero profit. Adam Smith said that operation of invisible hand. Operation of invisible hand. Operation of invisible hand. Adam Smith said that there is operation of invisible hands. Thus, in front of Adam Smith, the answer is operation of invisible hand. Demand curve is downward sloping. Unitary elasticity of demand, elastic demand is equal to 1. Short run marginal cost is delta means change in the total cost divided by change in the output, delta TC by delta Q. Normal profit means zero profit, and Adam Smith is said to be the operation of invisible hand. He said that there is operation of invisible hand in the economy. So this is about the first main, fill in the blank. Second main, choose the correct answer. Third main, match the following. So this is about the 2018 midterm examination, September, October. So remaining part from the 1 mark, 2 mark is there, 1 mark is there, and remaining 4 marks, 6 marks I will solve in the next class. Thank you for watching this video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.